Hey guys, CryptoDad here again. Thanks for joining me on the Saturday night live stream, live from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. We'll talk about Bitcoin. We'll talk about the news. We'll talk about altcoins. Going to move some crypto around for you guys. And as always, I'll do my very best to get to your questions and see if we can answer or troubleshoot your problems here live. So thanks for joining me. I did get my Ledger Stax. This is an NFT that I just pulled on there. I'm going to do some demos with the Stax and go into some of the details that I missed in my my first two videos. The first video that I did was kind of a first look and initializing the Stax with his own seed phrase, and then I did another video where I imported a seed phrase from a previous Ledger device, creating a mirror backup. But really the important thing there is it just basically gave the Stax access to all of the existing accounts in my Ledger Live. So I didn't have to transfer anything back and forth. And of course, I'm going to do one for the phone. And there's some flickering going on. I don't know if it's one of my key lights or if I'm having a stroke. I don't know. But we'll get through it, right? So I want to thank everyone for being here. It's good to have you here. We're going to talk a little bit politics. We won't try to be too controversial, but all three presidential candidates have interacted with, oh, there it goes. Yeah, it must be my key light. I'll go up there in a second, and maybe the connector's loose. We'll check that. But all three of the major presidential candidates have mentioned cryptocurrencies one way or the other, and the United States Congress, the House of Representatives, and the Senate have both passed some crypto-related laws through that. The law that Biden just vetoed today passed both houses of Congress with bipartisan support. And there was a recent law that went through the House, was passed by the House, which can be taken up by the Senate. And I've got a story about that. So a lot of stuff going on related to crypto. And of course, it is an election year, so what do you expect? But let's jump in and let me see who's here tonight. And I think I am, if you don't mind. Yeah, I'm just going to reach up here and see if I can't connect this light again. Yeah, I think I got it. Luckily, the entire infrastructure didn't come crashing down. I got so much stuff going on here. Yeah, when I did that, the video, the unboxing video, you know, I had this shot for a bit, and a lot of people were like, hey, wow, we like your office and stuff. And I sometimes forget, you know, all the work that I put into this office. You know, these two monitors were here. I originally had this back monitor in front of me, but that thing is just huge. I don't remember. I think it's 42 or 43. I bought it as a gaming monitor, but it was just too overwhelming for my main screen. And so it sat in the corner for a while. And then I brought it back out again to hook up to an Xbox that I had just bought. And then I got my new NVIDIA 4090 card, which supports up to 4 monitors. So that thing is hooked up. So we got all 3 monitors going. We got all this RGB stuff. It's great fun. You can see my little setup here. So yeah, we're gonna do the stacks, and we'll go through some of the lost features, so to speak, that some of you were talking about. But let's get through the news real quick here. Let's see. Oh, and thank you everyone that's here. Andreas Ebert, thank you for being here from across the pond. I believe you're over there in Germany. PJ Playhouse, Kenny Wiedner, Cardasaur, Mr. Miski, Mark Schlossberg from Slovakia. Scott Lee is here early. Good to have you here early, Scott. Gregory Wieland, Thanks for being here. Simona Moulin. Let's see. Asil is here. Wonderful to have you, Asil. Michael Carter. Christopher Thane from Australia. Kelly P. from Tennessee. Kenny is looking forward to the Stax. Yeah, I am too. Dan is here. We're talking about... Dan and I talk politics quite a bit at our in-person meeting that we have here locally. So it's always good fun, but they'd probably pull my YouTube channel down if we got into too much of the stuff we like to talk about. Alkabulen, good to have you here. Chris from England, Retro Mike Tech, gifted the CryptoDad memberships. That's pretty cool. I looked into that gifting. I couldn't figure it out. It was just too difficult for me. But that's cool. That's so cool. Let's see. And PJ Playhouse is now a member. That's so cool. Emmanuel. Let's see. Marv is here. And I think I've greeted everybody. Yeah. So wonderful to have you guys here. If you... and the... let me see. Let me turn this off. It's just too difficult for me. I don't see the thumbnail anymore. You can't really see it here. I guess I could do it this way. I wanted to figure out some sort of old-timey politician thing. And let's see. Let's just look at it this way. Well, so you can see it. That's the original, actually, and I'll show you that in a little bit more detail here in just a sec. But yeah, that's me. The head's not on there quite right. And I got the Bitcoin, and this is the original. I guess it was a McKinley political poster. And he's on $1. It looks like a gold dollar. I don't know if he was into the gold-backed U.S. dollar or on that side of the issue or whatever. But yeah, that's an old political thing, and I just sort of made it my own. So I had a lot of fun with that. You know, that was cool. So let's see. If you look at the description, you'll see what we're going to talk about. I've got some tags to the Ledger YouTube channel and a video, The Road to Ledger Stax, which is kind of explaining why it took so long. It's a really good video. If you're interested in the Ledger Stax, I would highly recommend you checking out this video. It is an amazing device, and the screen technology that went into it was amazing. And, you know, they had a vision, and it was a little ahead of its time, if you ask me. And I believe... it is my opinion that it is one of the best interfaces I've ever used on a crypto hardware wallet, right? There's a lot of them out there. Like Tangem is great, but there are some limitations because there's no screen on the Tangem cards. And then there are other touch screens like the Trezor T and some other wallets that I have reviewed, but this e-ink screen is really nice, and the size of the device and the size of the screen are optimal, I think. You know, it's small enough to be a crypto wallet and yet large enough to be easy to use. So enough about that. I've got some links to some sites where you can find out about coins you might be interested in, networks you might be interested in. That pre-sales website is linked down here. A link to the stacks. You can't buy them yet. They're still in stock soon. You can get notifications, but you can't buy them yet. And then links to other cryptocurrency hardware wallets and all the news stories that we're going to go over tonight. A great video by Andreas Antonopoulos. Please check that out. He is so much better at explaining the intricacies of crypto hardware wallets and risk assessment, much more articulate than I. So I highly recommend that video about are hardware wallets secure enough. I am on the trenches with that almost every day, and he answers quite a few questions in there. And if you want to get a hold of me, there's some contact information down at the very bottom. Please shoot me an email if I don't get to your question. Please. All right. So, yeah, welcome everybody here. Let's jump into the news. I want to try to get through the news before we lose too much time. Tonight is my 16th wedding anniversary, so my wife and I are going to go out after the live stream. We wanted to get the kids fed. We had meatloaf before the live stream, so everybody's fed, and then my wife and I'll go out after this. And I'll pull up a picture of my wife on the Stax device. So Biden vetoed the law that would have repealed the standard accounting something from the SEC. What do they call it? Staff Accounting Bulletin, number 121. And this is an accounting bulletin that basically just, without any input from Congress or anybody else, the SEC has just decided that this is, how they're going to treat crypto. And it's really not thought out, well-honed crypto policy. And so the House of Representatives and the Senate both voted overwhelmingly to have this accounting bulletin removed. And it passed with bipartisan support, and Biden vetoed it. So not a big surprise there. I don't know if this is going to help or hurt his chances in the election. Crypto-wise, Trump is basically playing on the fact that Biden is antagonistic towards crypto. I don't know that Biden knows much about crypto, but the powers that be, his handlers, the administration, the SEC, the financial people are just sort of anti-crypto. They're making it difficult for people to use crypto and companies involved in crypto to get regulated properly. So this veto is just sort of business as usual. I hope that it wakes him up, or if it doesn't, I hope that it does hurt his chances in the election, because, of course, I'm pro-crypto. I'm not saying what side I am on America's political divide, but as far as politics goes, where crypto is concerned, it seems that Trump has at least given lip service to being pro-crypto and pro self-custody, which was quite refreshing. He may not know he knows about self-custody because he's done some his NFTs. So, but RFK Jr. has also come out in favor of crypto. And before I bash Biden too much on his crypto stance, he did in his statement mention, let's see where he go. My administration is eager to work with Congress to ensure a comprehensive and balanced regulatory framework for digital assets, building on existing authorities, which will promote the responsible development of digital assets and payment innovation and help reinforce United States leadership in the global financial system. So that's sort of lip service to crypto as it stands. But, what have you done for me lately? It's easy to just make sort of a generalized statement that, hey, I'm in favor of, decent crypto regulation, but, a law landed on his desk that gave him a chance to take some action, and he refused. And there is legislation that is heading towards his desk, which hopefully will be on his desk before the election, but most likely not, seeing as how it's an election year. I would think that the pro-Biden people would rather not have this land on his desk before the election. But yeah, I got a couple of stories about that. And then we have one of the outgoing members of Congress advocating for the FIT 21 bill, which, as I mentioned, passed the House. And it is a comprehensive overhaul of crypto regulation. This is separate from this bill we were just talking about. This is a different bill. Has passed the House with bipartisan support, and he's advocating that the Senate take it up and get it passed before the election. But we'll see, right? Like all of these are linked down below. You might want to take a look at them. But we're heavy into the crypto politics, right? And as I mentioned, Donald Trump came out in favor of cryptocurrency. He's open-minded to crypto. He supports self-custody, which I was really interested when he said that. Most crypto regulation is anti-self-custody, tries to, bash self-custody as some sort of danger to the financial system. So it was refreshing to hear him mention that he was pro self-custody. Here we go. He seems to be ahead in the betting odds. Michelle Obama is 3. That's funny. Michelle Obama is ahead of Robert Kennedy Jr. Okay. So yeah, big surprise when Joe drops out and Michelle takes his place, right? Nobody will be surprised by that, right? Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty much, I think I went into this story last week a little bit. And as I mentioned, RFK, Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr., who is a third-party candidate, was going to go Democrat, but then decided to go independent. He's polling, from what I understand, around 10%. Could be a spoiler. So he has come out in favor of crypto. That's pretty cool. We need sovereignty over our own wallets and transactional freedom, Kennedy told reporters at Consensus on May 30th. We need a decentralized currency that is transparent as a bulwark? I don't know. Against totalitarianism. Here, I said that word. That was like a 5-syllable word. Got that one out. So yeah, all the candidates are weighing in. And then this little article here, I'm not a huge fan of their magazine format, but I guess I'll take it. It's a little about people, the voters kind of weighing in on crypto. Combined with last week's approval of Ethereum ETFs and pressure from the suddenly pro-crypto Donald Trump, pundits are now wondering if crypto voters not only have enough power to affect November's presidential election, but if they already have. The Democrats' sudden position shift, with the White House now saying it's willing to negotiate on legislation, suggests they could be trying to stem any loss of voters on the issue. Right. So, yes, crypto has entered politics. Right. And they're all kind of walking that fine line, trying to get whatever appeal to whatever demographics they can. Right. Let's see. And Ledger finally shipped the Stax hardware wallet. And I've got one here. So you can check out this story. Crypto slightly up right now. Bitcoin is kind of been stuck in this range all day long, around 67,700. Ethereum up at 38. BNB around 600. Sol 167. That's down. Sol, of course, during the March upswing was over 200 and then got down as low as 129. And was recently up around 180 and has since pulled back. Sol being an up-and-coming crypto blockchain project, right? So we'll talk about this. So let's talk about the Stax. I want to say I noticed a few of you mentioned that happy anniversary to me. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Uwe. Let's see. Skylwack, Dr. Sauce. Good to have everybody here tonight. Kenny's staying clear of politics. Let's see. Scott Lee, blame IBM Watson on the political show. Or is it thank IBM Watson? No matter what anyone believes, AI is setting the stage for a wonderful future. Yeah, I read an article about AI deepfakes that might come into play during the election season 2. Going to be pretty crazy. I should do a whole video just on AI. I support crypto and want to grow, but I believe Trump will inevitably continue to increase division, bring in another GOP candidate for all I care. Hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Yeah, and, you know, Trump may be giving lip service to crypto once he gets in office. You know, all bets are off, really. You know, so we don't know if one or the other candidate is really going to make a big change in the United States, you know, monolithic uniparty government doing anything different about crypto than they've already decided, right? The IRS, the SEC, you know, all the Treasury Department, they're pretty much ensconced in the legacy financial system. So I don't know that, you know, a different president will make a big difference, but we can hope, right? All right, so let's take a look at the stacks, and let's go over to the table demo. I hope all my cameras were able to hang in there. Let's clean things up a tad. Yeah. The first thing, let's see. Oh, yeah, the first thing, you know, we can talk about this, and this thing is not correct either. Okay. When the cat gets behind my monitors, he jars the cables on all my webcams, so sometimes they're not aligned properly. So this is an NFT that I pulled up from my list of NFTs. The back here, Andreas was asking me about the back. It's not very interesting, right? It's got some, I guess they're required to put this kind of stuff on the back. Now, the screen, they said Tony Fidel mentioned that the screen, he wanted the screen to be 180, curved 180 degrees. And, you know, to the untrained eye, which would be me, I'm looking at a screen that has, you know, there's a screen on the top, there's a screen on the side. Looks to me like a 90-degree angle, right? But no, what's really going on, if you take a look here, is we've got this display that is wrapping around the entire device and actually, you know, comes around on the bottom. So when you look at it from this angle, it is 180 degrees all the way around. Pretty cool. There's our USB connector port. You know, when we wake this guy up, if we're going to wake him up, okay, there it is. Okay. You've got a nice big screen for your pin. Let me enter that. So much bigger and easier to use than the Trezor T. The Trezor T up to now had sort of been my favorite touchscreen interface on a crypto hardware wallet, but the Trezors do not support as many cryptos as the Ledger devices, and not as many third-party wallets as the Ledger devices. The Soulflare wallet and the Phantom wallet for Solana still don't support Trezor devices. So I like the Ledger device. So this is kind of cool. Whoops. I've got some apps on here. I've got the Monero app on here. Come on. I'm just barely touching this thing. But this is the interface. Pretty cool. You can get into the settings right here. You can change the name. There's some about information, and here is where we'll adjust the lock screen. I'll do that in a minute when we get over to the main screen. It has sounds, and all of the notification and the tap sounds appear to be enabled, but I have not heard this thing make a sound, so I'm not sure about that. Language, of course, change pin, we get that, but I hadn't realized that there is an arrow down here. Okay, I wanted to talk about the advanced features of this device, right? So if we go into the settings, You can see we've got the name, the about, the lock screen, which I will demonstrate here in a second, sounds which are enabled but don't appear to be functional. I haven't heard this thing make a sound at all. Change pin, pretty standard. And then I had not realized there was this little arrow here, which takes you to the second screen of features or settings, right? Bluetooth, I get. We'll go ahead and connect the Bluetooth here in a minute too. I'll show you how that works. They have NFC. Now, this is not enabled yet. And I went and read a little bit more about this. So far, the only thing that the NFC supports is a Ledger technology for two-factor authentication and using this device as a two-factor. I'm not a huge fan of using my Ledger device as a two-factor, like a hardware two-factor, because it's just too inconvenient for that. Hardware two-factor should be, okay, you need to authorize, you touch it, or you put it in the USB port or whatever, and it works, right? But with a Ledger device, you've got to pull it out, you've got to connect it, wake it up, enter the PIN. It's just too inconvenient to function seamlessly as a two-factor authentication device, but we'll see. But so far, that's the only thing that the NFC is good for, and it's not even done yet. But conceivably, this could work like the Tangem card, but better because it has a screen. So the Tangem card, if you're not aware, it looks like a credit card. I love the Tangem card, but when you authorize transactions, you do have to use the NFC technology by holding it close to your phone, but you have no confirmation screen on the device. So in a way, the device requires a bit of trust. Any hardware wallet requires trust. Let's get that out of the way. That's sorry to break that to you guys, but every crypto hardware wallet out there requires some level of trust. And people attack Ledger because, oh, I don't trust it. It's well, every single hardware wallet on the market requires a certain level of trust in the company. Because it's never completely open source or transparent. That's just the nature of the device. It lives in the real world. It's not mathematically perfect. So anyway, I'll get off that soapbox. So they have NFC technology in this guy. Pretty cool. Let's see here. We can launch a QR code that'll help us launch Ledger Live. The battery settings are here. You've got a manual reset if you want to wipe the device. And I have wiped this device 2 or 3 times already. Seems to work just fine. I set it up, I wiped it, I restored it, I wiped it again, I restored it again, and then today I wiped it and restored it and synced it up to my go-to Ledger Nano X. So that seems to work just fine. Have any trouble with that. The advanced feature is where you access the passphrase functionality. And someone had asked me, oh, Dr. Sauce, thank you so much for that donation. I didn't see it over there. I appreciate that. So someone had asked me in the comments of my review, does it have passphrase functionality? And I couldn't find it until I realized that it was on the second screen of settings, kind of tucked away inside this advanced setting. So you have the option of setting a passphrase, just like you do with the Ledger Nano X. And I would assume it would be a lot less difficult than doing it on the Ledger Nano X. One of the problems with using the Ledger Nano X and with a passphrase is you only have those 2 buttons for entering numbers and symbols and letters. And it's really a difficult interface to master. But being able to use their little on-screen keypad for entering your passphrase is really a game changer for this device. So really one of the greatest things about this touchscreen is improving the passphrase management, right? It'll be so much easier to enter a passphrase on the device than it was on the previous Ledger devices. So pretty cool stuff. Also, I wanted to demonstrate, we can go back here, that this thing does have wireless charging. So you can drop it and it'll start charging. And I didn't hear that sound. If I recall, I think the first time I said I had never heard it do anything. But somehow, maybe it's a bug or whatever, somehow I'm not hearing the beeps anymore. So maybe something a little ganky with the sound, I don't know. But yeah, you can see here that it is charging. This is an Apple phone charger. I'm not sure how many different chargers it's compatible with. I thought that this Apple charger was kind of proprietary just for Apple, but it looks like the Ledger Stax can take advantage of that. Now, I also know that the Ledger Stax has a magnet, but it's not strong enough to hold. Oh, it does. Okay. So it does hold it up. I have a stand that I use for my phone, and I couldn't get the Ledger Stax to stay stuck to that. But it seems to be doing a pretty good job here. So maybe I should try that again. So yeah, so it's got the wireless charging. That's pretty cool. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the other screen, and I talked about NFC, passphrase, and charging. And so let's get to setting the screen. Let's play around with that. That's kind of fun. Let me get the camera going over here. Let's see here. Okay, we're here. Okay. There it is. Oh, okay. I haven't done this yet. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, there it is. Okay. We need this a little bit. Whoops. Sorry. We need this just this was set for the. Oops. Yeah, I think that's probably about right. Let's bring it in here and see what we got. Huh? Okay, that's all right. All right, so I'm going to connect it. The reason I'm using this side camera is because I want to share what's going on the Ledger Live screen as well. So I'm going to need to re-enter my PIN here real quick. And it's much quicker than trying to enter the PIN in the Ledger Nano X. All right, so let's go into Ledger Live. And it took me a while to figure out how you were able to change the lock screen photo. So I had to Google it, and I found there was a little how-to in a Ledger blog. So I was like, is it in the settings, accounts, about, help? I couldn't find it anywhere. Turns out it's in the My Ledger section. Let's move this guy over just a tad. All right. So in the My Ledger section, it connects to the device. You say allow. All right, that's all well and good. And it's here, lock screen picture. And I had looked in here a couple of times and just missed it. So that's where you go to change the lock screen picture. And we're at OS 1.4. They're calling it OS. They're not calling it firmware. They're calling it OS. And when I first took this out of the box, if you look at the, let's show you some content here. I've done 2 reviews as I mentioned at the beginning. Whoops. Yeah, so I've done the Ledger Stax first look, which you sort of can't see. Okay, so the Ledger Stax first look and the Ledger Stax migration video. So you might want to check those out. And so, of course, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, so there were some updates that I had to go through in that first look. You can check out how that works. Pretty straightforward. You just connect it, do the genuine check, and you know, it'll ask you to run the updates. So yeah, that's the current version right now. Let's see what else we got. Oh, let's go ahead and change this. So you can use an NFT. So if you click NFT, it sort of scans your device for any NFTs that you may have in your Ethereum wallets. Maybe in the Polygon wallets too, I'm not sure. Yeah, so pretty cool stuff. And as I mentioned, I restored this Ledger Stax with the seed phrase of my Ledger Nano X, and so it now has complete access to all of the accounts in my existing Ledger Live. But let's go ahead and change that picture. We can upload it from the computer. This is the picture of my lovely wife. I thought, okay, there it is. Okay, there we go. And so, you know, you can change it around a little bit if you want. Not much leeway with it. We'll hit confirm crop and then confirm that we can make it darker if we want. But I like the default, works just fine. All right, and then the device is going to ask you to load the picture. And there it goes. And there we go. We got that lock screen picture. And it's really cool because it'll just sit there forever. Apparently, a lock screen, the e-ink technology requires no power once it is like been, you know, once it is written to the screen, it doesn't require any power. So it just kind of, that lock screen just hangs out for a while. It's pretty cool. There, that's, and, you know, we could do more. We can change it. You know, we can pull up any picture from our computer or any NFT that's in any of the existing Ethereum wallets. I didn't notice that. It's possible that it might work with Polygon NFTs as well, right? And of course, they're only going to be displayed in grayscale. It's too bad for that. So what else was I going to do here? I get too excited. The capacity, right. All right, so the capacity of the Ledger Stax is only 1.09 megabytes. And the capacity of the Ledger Nano X is 1.76 megabytes. Seems rather small, and it is, right? But it's will hold quite a few apps. I mean, I've got the major apps on there now. I've got Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Monero, and Cosmos on here now, and of course, you know, there have been. If you look at my Ledger Nano X, it's practically full because I've had a lot of other crypto apps on there in the past. And so it's definitely, I would have to, you know, migrating over, you know, we're seeing a lot less room on the Ledger Stax. I don't know what the excuse for that is. I really couldn't say why they would come out with like a new flagship product with all these great features and this great screen and couldn't figure out how to, you know, give it at least the same amount of storage as a Ledger Nano X, if not more. I mean, why couldn't they put 2 megabytes on there or 3 or 4 or 5? You know, it just, it just, a lot of people in the comments of my review were pretty upset about its capacity. So, and of course, you know, the whole idea behind the stacks is that you will have more than one, so you can stack them, right? That's the, you know, if you look at the Ledger Stax page, let's see, Ledger. You know, they have a picture of it being stacked. Or no, it doesn't, at least not here. Yeah. So, and with the idea being that you would have more than one of these for different types of crypto or different self-custody scenarios, so to speak. And I'm all behind that. I'm all behind, you know, having a go-to, you know, deep storage wallet for your, you know, your go-to long-term holding, and then a different hardware wallet for doing DeFi with only, you know, just enough amounts of Ethereum or Solana or Polygon in there for your fees, right? You don't want to connect a wallet that's got 10 Ethereum in it to a DEX, right? Unless you're trying to trade for something that requires that amount. You really don't want to expose your long-term storage to Web3. So I'm all for not putting all your eggs in one basket and spreading out your crypto assets. And then they had one where, let's see if I can find the, doggone it. Boop-a-doop-a-doo. Let's go to images. There was one in particular. Okay, here's one. Right, so we've got Noah's Crypto, we've got My Mint Bag, we've got the Family Backup. So I get that, right? I get that, you know, you want to have a device that sort of advocates that you don't want everything in one device. I get that totally, but I don't know if that's a good excuse for making a device that only has 1 megabyte worth of app storage on there. Right? I don't quite understand that, but I love the I love the idea of spreading your crypto across different hardware devices. I get that. I'd be more of an advocate of different wallets from different manufacturers for different use cases, right? Like I have a Tangem, I have a Trezor, you know, I have all kinds of different crypto wallets, and you may, you know, have preferences, you know, for security and ease of use. And so, yeah, I mean, it's okay to have more than, you know, it's good practice to have more than one device. And if you're like a big fan of the stacks and you think stacks is the way to go, and have more than one is great also, but it's a little pricey, you know, to sort of sell that to people, you know, for $269 a pop. You know, if we're talking about a $79 device or even a $150 device, I could see the use case for, hey, you should have more than one, you know, blah, blah, blah. And the whole argument, you know, okay, I've got $50,000 worth of crypto, or I have $100,000 worth of crypto. Of course, you know, you can afford to buy 4 or 5 Ledger Stax, right? You know, you're protecting thousands and thousands of dollars worth of crypto, so it makes sense to do it sensibly. I get all that, but the normal, you know, end user is going to find it hard to swallow the fact that they should go out and buy 3 or 4 Ledger Stax at $269 a pop. That's kind of my thing there. So yeah, the capacity. Now let me get caught up a little bit on the comments that you guys are throwing out here. Let's just put that on the screen while we're talking. It looks like a little black book. Yeah, when I was doing that first setup video, I had the urge to try to open it. It looked like a tiny little Kindle is what I was like. Does this thing open? But no, it doesn't open. It just sort of looks like it should. Yeah, nice, but the screen is big enough, and the device is small enough. Let's as now that we're on that aspect, let's take a look here over on the table. Let's compare it to some other stuff, right? Just for perspective. So it is pretty much the exact same length and width of a credit card, right? Almost, perfect. But thicker, right? So, if we look at the credit card, this thing is a lot thicker than the credit card. But as far as the size goes, of course, it's not going to fit in your wallet. But because it's curved and small, it does fit in your pocket pretty easily, right? So here we've got some other devices that we can compare to size-wise. We've got the Ledger Nano X, right? We've got the Ledger Nano S Plus, right? We've got the Trezor T and the Trezor Safe 3. So it's obviously bigger than any one of these other crypto wallets. So, but I think the size was to accommodate the screen, and I believe, that's my opinion, that they found a great balance between a reasonably large screen that makes it easy for input and kept it relatively small comparatively, right? We didn't need another device as big as a phone, right? I've already got a phone in my pocket. I don't need like another device the same size as my phone. Where am I going to put that? In the same pocket, in the other pocket, and then I'll have a pocket with each phone. So they made the device small enough to be convenient and the screen big enough to be, a convenient way to enter information. Like I said, entering the PIN, doing a recovery, typing out words in the recovery process, entering a passphrase have all increased in convenience well beyond much more beyond. I want to say 10 times, but that's an overused term. But 2, 3, 4, 5 times easier and more convenient for letter entry and number entry than using the older Ledger Nano X or Ledger Nano S Plus. I mean, these buttons are just like something out of the 1980s as far as interface, right? So yeah, we have vastly improved the interface, and they didn't sacrifice by making the device too big. Much smaller than, I believe they had that. I never got my hands on that Ledger Blue, but I believe it was about the size of a Kindle, right? So they've done a good job of sort of making it easy to use for data entry and still small enough to be convenient to just slip into your pocket. Good stuff. Let's go back over here. I wanted to kind of give you the bad news. Asil, thank you for gifting that membership. You're very nice. Sarah Sirkan says, hope I'm having fun. I am. This thing is fun. It is fun to use. Yeah, I'm really, I'm happy with it. If the price point supported multiple devices, that might make sense, but this is not what they did. Right, that price point does not support the whole idea of multiple devices. Right, the thing should be at the very least maybe like $189, but they couldn't get the screen technology. They have their upfront costs. So they couldn't get the device in at that price point, right? $269. Who knows how much profit they're making per unit? We don't know. How does the size compare to the One Key Touch? The One Key Touch, I have one, but not right here with me. It's pretty close. The One Key Touch is a little thicker than this. This one's thinner than the One Key Touch. The One Key Touch is slightly smaller. I just off the top of my head than this. It's a little, length and width smaller, but the One Key Touch is pretty
convenient to carry around in your pocket as well. And it has a decent screen also, but it's not quite as responsive as this. I mean, this is an amazing screen. I'll have to give it that. But as far as being close, the one key touch is very close as far as convenience of entering and size, right? Now for the bad news, right? I tried to connect my device to several third-party wallets, and this is what happened. All right, so we'll check that out. Let's bring this camera back up again. All right, so let's get out of this. Okay, so we're back at this screen. So let's do MetaMask, the big boy, right? So we've got our MetaMask wallet, and we would like to add a new hardware wallet. All right, so we'll go to hardware wallet. We'll say Ledger, right? We'll hit continue, and the browser sees that it's a Ledger Stax, right? The browser sees the USB device. But I get an unknown error when I try to connect it to MetaMask. And the same with Rabby. So if we try to go up to Rabby and we want to connect a new hardware wallet and we choose Ledger, we're kind of in the same boat. We get the, well, let's see. Usually it would give me that browser connector, but I think since I've already gone through the browser connection, it just accepts that it's already connected to the browser, but we're getting the connection to Rabby as not working, right? So that doesn't work. And then, wait, let me get into the Ethereum app. Maybe I've got this all wrong. You have to be in the Ethereum app. So let's try that and see what happens. Okay, well, the Ledger Stax. Oh, lo and behold, it worked. Hey. Okay, so that's cool, right? Silly me. I wasn't in the Ethereum app. No wonder it wasn't connecting. Well, this is going to be slightly... Let me do it over here. Because I already have a Ledger device connected that is a mirror image of this one. So let's see what happens when we do it over here in Brave, right? So we'll do the connect. Let's do the Ledger. Let's do this connect. Ledger Stax. And, I'm loving this device even more now, right? So, as I mentioned, this device is a mirror image of my go-to Ledger Nano X. So I am familiar with both of these accounts, right? There are balances in here, right? We'll hit done. And when we go to Rabby, pretty cool, right? So it's calling it Ledger 2. I mean, we can, believe we can do it here. Actually, we'll call this one main. Let's see, we can do this one. Let's call this one Ledger Stax H. That's what I call this before. All right. And now, let's see what we got in here. I think I may have some... Yeah, well, that's Ethereum-based ETH. I don't have a whole lot of base ETH in here. Well, let's grab some. All right, so let's grab this address. Let's go over to Coinbase. And let's send some Ethereum into this wallet. Actually, let's trade a little bit. Let's trade half of this. Let's trade half of this for US dollar coin. That should do it. Right. So if we go back to portfolio, okay, so we got some US dollar coin, we got some ETH, right? So let's send the US dollar coin first, and we'll do it in base format. There's base, and we'll paste in the address, and Coinbase knows this address, right? It's, as I mentioned, it's a mirror image of my earlier device, right? Whoops, what am I doing here? Okay. Okay. So we'll send that into the wallet. I wanted to do a demo of sending crypto back out, right? So the reason I did the US dollar coin is it's basically free, right? I'm not going to lose anything on fees by doing it, right? We'll just refresh here, and there, we see that. So let's go ahead and send it back to Coinbase. Wait a minute here. Oh, I'm in the wrong Rabby, but whatever. Let's go ahead and connect the stacks again. Even though it's a mirror image, it should give me a new, even though I'm putting in the same address. Hopefully it'll just think it's a different account, which is cool, right? So yeah, it's already in there, and we'll call this one Ledger Stax. Whoops. All right, you get that. And so, yeah, now we've got the Ledger Stax, which has the same address, right? Let's send from the Ledger Stax over to back to Coinbase, US dollar coin. And we'll just max it out. And we'll do a send back to Coinbase. And it wants me to sign, right? Ooh, okay. Do. Oh, okay, I gotta enable blind signing. Okay, I can deal with that. So we need to enable blind signing. Whoops, we'll go to settings. Do they have settings on this? Oh, it's up here. See it? Up here. Sorry. It's hard to do when I'm facing you. Go into settings. Oh, I still don't see a way to enable blind signing on this guy. Uh-oh. Well, it shouldn't ask me to enable blind signing to do a transfer. But yeah, it doesn't look like I can enable blind signing on this guy. That's kind of a, okay. But let's try doing this anyway. Let's get this guy here. Hoop-a-doop-a-doo. US dollar coin on base. Right, there's the, yeah, because I don't have it whitelisted on this device. Yeah, so it's there. Let's try it one more time. We'll paste in the address. It's going to ask me for the password. Good stuff. We want to use our US dollar coin. And let's just do 22, and let's see what happens. Because it shouldn't need blind signing just to do a transfer. I can understand a trade. Nah, it's not going to let me do it. Okay. Please enable blind signing or contract data in the Ethereum app. Okay. Yeah, and there is no way, unless I'm just an idiot. Oh, wait. There's an arrow down here. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. So we'll enable blind signing. There we go. There was another screen. Okay. All right, let's go back. Whoops. Okay. Now let's try again. Okay, so here we go. Review. So This is a little, it's so dim, it looks like it's not an option. But the tap to continue is available. I can tap anywhere on the screen, tap to continue. It's telling me blind signing is enabled. Okay, I get that. Tap to continue again. There is the information about where I'm sending it. Actually, I don't know what that address is. Am I sending this to the right place? Yeah, 359A. But that's not the address. There's the network. Okay, it's only $22. I don't know why. But that hold to sign there is very similar to the Trezor T. Right? And let's go back to Coinbase, and we should get that back. Of course, it never really went out as far as Coinbase was concerned. Let's go to portfolio. Yeah, it was $22.02, and now it's only 22 because it came back in. But let's look at the Alex. Thank you for that donation. I appreciate that. Yeah, so you can see we sent it out. We sent out $22.02, and then we got it back in. So we were able to use the Ledger Stax with our third-party Rabby wallet, which I'm really excited about. Through hook and by crook, I figured out how to enable blind signing on the device. And let's try connecting to another third-party wallet. Let's do it over here. Okay, let me do it new. Okay. Whoops. Well, we're gonna remove it anyway. Let's remove it, and let's put Solana, Solflare. Whoops. All right. Let's download for Brave, add to Brave, and let's see if it works with the Ledger Stax. Now we're going to need to be in the Solana app. There, we got to remember that. All right, so we're not going to start a new wallet or import. We're going to use the Ledger option down here. Let's hit continue. We're going to connect to the Stax. Let's give it a password. All right, that's looking good. And there we go. Yeah, there's our accounts. I'll just use this one here. We'll hit continue, and there we go. Let's send a little Solana over to Coinbase. We're going to do transfer, receive crypto, and do Sol. Since it's pretty cheap, I'm not going to lose too much. There's the Sol address. All right, so let's send some Sol. Let's do 0.2, and we'll paste in the address of our Coinbase account. They always give you this warning. I don't know what it is about exchange accounts, but the Solana wallets think they're empty, even though they might have some stuff in there. You can safely disregard this, right? We'll hit send here. Confirm on the ledger. Cool stuff. Let's tap. We'll tap again. Whoops. No, I don't want to reject. All right, let's tap again. Hold to sign. Now this hold to sign, you have to put your finger on there and let the progress bar go across, and then off it goes, and off goes the Solana. And it should show up in our Coinbase account shortly. There's so much to show you guys. I hope you enjoyed the demo of the Ledger Stax. I didn't even get a chance to connect it to my phone. I'll do a standalone video on that. I'm really excited that it works with these third-party wallets out of the box, right? I had thought that it was incompatible, but I wasn't in the right app. Silly me. So yeah, that's great news. And let's go to our portfolio. And the Sol has arrived in our, let's turn the camera off here. Yeah, the Sol has arrived. So I showed you how to connect this to some third-party wallets, access the crypto, go into the settings, and send and receive. We had a lot of fun tonight, went over some of the features, and had a good time. I would go longer, but it's my anniversary. My wife and I are going to go out. She was trying on dresses earlier before the stream, so I'm excited to go out with her, hit the town, so to speak, within reason, right? We live in a small town anyway. Let's see here. Let's go over to this screen. I just want to thank everyone that was here tonight. Coinbase wallet will probably work as well, although the Coinbase wallet can be a little finicky in that once you have the Coinbase wallet set up, and I don't think I have it in Brave, but for example, if you have Coinbase wallet, it's disabled at the moment. If you have Coinbase wallet already set up, actually it's connected to my Ledger at the moment, the Ledger Nano X. But once you have it set up, you can't add new devices. I don't know why it is like that, but it's kind of weird, right? It doesn't allow me to connect another device. Now, if I've installed Coinbase from scratch and I'm just starting off with Coinbase Wallet, it will allow me to connect a device from the get-go. But once I have done that, it won't allow me to add more. So I'll give you a quick example. In Solflare, if I go to my wallets and hit plus, I can still add more Ledger devices. I could conceivably add, 3 or 4 or 5 devices using the Solflare third-party wallet. But I can't do that in Coinbase Wallet for some bizarre reason. It only allows me to add a standalone wallet or import a recovery phrase. I don't know why that is. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, from scratch, you should definitely be able to connect your stacks to Coinbase Wallet as well. So we'll get to all that down the road. I got a lot of more videos to record. I got some more live streams. Oh, and I just wanted to point out before if you Google or if you search Ledger Stax on YouTube, I appear to be the only person that has posted a Ledger Stax unboxing and demo video on YouTube. It's kind of weird. I don't know why my live stream. I don't know why it's not showing my this Stax review is from a year ago. All these other YouTubers that have reviewed the stacks, these are 6 months to a year old. I seem to be the only guy that has got my stacks and demoed it on YouTube. So bully. Anyway, you guys have a good night. I really appreciate everybody stopping by. Let's see, is my screen there we go. Thank you, Kenny, for being here early. Thank you, Kenny, for the news. Thank you, Dan and JDO, for moderating tonight. Thanks for the generous donation from Dr. Sauce. Asil, thank you for gifting that membership. That's really nice of you. Alex Assad, thank you for your generous donation. Thank you, everyone that came in and asked questions, joined the conversation. Retro Mike Tech, thank you so much for that gifted membership. That's really nice of you as well. And thank you, everyone that just came in and watched. Support the channel. I'll be here again next Saturday, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please join me again for the live stream from Michigan, where you can throw out questions and I'll do my best to get them answered. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like to subscribe to my channel, I would appreciate it. When you subscribe, there's a little bell that you can click that will allow you to be alerted whenever I post new content. Once again, thanks for joining me and hope to see you again soon. Good night, everybody.